John Michael Herrera, and through my life I've been known as a kid. I was known as Mickey, and later Mickey sounded kind of juvenile to me, so I switched over to Mike, and so it's been John Mike, or John Michael, or Mike through my life, and I was born in 1935 in Galveston, Texas, and my dad didn't show up for 3 days. Well, this was Depression. He didn't show up for 3 days, and the nuns there at St. Mary's Hospital were beginning to shake their head because they figured, well, here's another one without a father. But Dad finally showed up and let's say legitimatized me. So, everything worked out there. My godparents were Cisneros, who was my mother's older sister, and she was married to Raymond Villarreal, and they lived in Galveston, and he was a chef at the Hollywood Dinner Club, at the Balinese Room, at all of the big Maceo restaurants during the Maceo days, and of course they did very well during those days. And they were my godparents, and very loving, good godparents, and I'll always treasure them and their memory. I don't know what.
Can you tell us about your dad?
Well, Dad, I've always known Dad as Dad. And I remember, him becoming a lawyer. I remember him going to law school. I was just a kid. And we lived in a little shotgun house there on Nelson Street, which is Memorial Drive goes over there in Houston. Right behind it's the Policeman's Credit Union now, but it used to be the Yellow Cab 2-1 garage, and that's where he used to drive a cab out of. And Dad would drive his cab and go to night school. He'd send me over every now and then and tell him my dad told me to please hold his cab. He's running a little late, but he'll be here. And when it came time for him to take the bar exam, his fellow cab drivers would take up a fund so that Dad could go to Austin to study, cram for the bar, and then take the bar. And meanwhile, what Dad would do is he would either drive us to San Antonio to stay with my mother's brother, my aunt and my Uncle Louis, or down to Corpus Christi to stay with my Aunt Nancy, my mother's oldest sister. And he'd go to Austin and hole up there and take the bar. And he did this. He didn't make it. Third time though, he made it finally, and I choke up every time I remember this. I was just beginning to learn to read, and the mailman would come by, and I'd get the mail. And Mama, this is for you. And Daddy, this is for you. I'd hand out the mail and all. Anyway, and I handed out something to him. It was a postcard to Dad. And then he and Mom started crying. And I started crying because I didn't know what it was. And they said, no. We're crying because we're happy. And what it was a postcard from one of the I guess the graders there of of the bar, the people, the lawyers. And this man had kept an eye on Dad, and all through his 3 times to take the bar exam, he said, "This is just a personal note to you to congratulate you on passing the bar. You'll receive official notes pretty soon." And that, as I look back, it just meant so much. Because, during the years, little Johnny, you'll never make it, that kind of derision, full 4 eyes, you're trying to be something you'll never be, but he stayed with it, and he became a good.
What do you remember as the most significant event in your dad's involvement with LULAC?
Well, Doug and I have talked about this. My brother Douglas, he's my next, he's a few years younger than I am. It was Dad's humility about LULAC and about the Latin American people that many people weren't aware of, because they're aware of this guy that would go out there and what's the problem, and try to tackle something, from a legal standpoint as a lawyer. But he was always trying to inform people, the Latinos, about issues. I remember him going to KTRH radio, KPRC radio, and let's see, KLEE. That was the first TV station we had, W. Albert Lee, and then ultimately KLVL. And he would take his own time out there just to go out and have this program to inform people about issues that they should be interested in. And he was always inclusive of LULAC. Always wanted, LULAC included in everything. And sometimes I think that some people mistook that or didn't understand that, and thought that he might be grandstanding, for himself. These were the days before lawyers today. Lawyers can go on TV and radio, they can advertise themselves, but back then you couldn't do it. It just, it wasn't done.